Welcome to my final Pittsburgh Steelers 2023 NFL Mock Draft 5.0. So, the actual NFL draft is on Thursday, and since we're getting down to the wire, this mock draft is what I think the Steelers will do at their selections. Not necessarily what I would do if I was a GM of the Steelers. What I would do would probably be different from what they're actually going to do, and if you want to watch what I think they should do, go watch Mock Draft 4.0 on this channel. But 5.0 is what I think the Steelers will do at their selections. With that being said, since the Steelers have a lot of picks early in the draft, I'm also going to stand still at every draft pick because I don't know what trades they would make if they are. So it's easier for me to stand still. With that being said, let's get it over with. With pick number 17 in the first round, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting offensive tackle Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. So, with Darnell Wright, he stands at 6'5". He weighs 333 pounds. His arm length is 33 and 3/4 inches. His hand size 9 inches. And at the NFL Combine, he ran a 40-yard dash time of 5.01 seconds, a vertical jump of 29 inches, and a broad jump of 9 and 6 inches. So, the reason why I picked Darnell Wright and maybe not the other offensive tackles that you would expect, like Paris Johnson and Broderick Jones, is because I believe the Steelers will not be in a position to pick one of those guys, because they will be gone before pick number 17, and like I said, I'm not making any trades in this draft. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Darnell Wright, but he's still a solid guy for the Steelers, even though he projects as a right tackle at the next level, because that's where he had most success in the college level. With Wright, he features an appealing blend of size, power, and tenacity. With Darnell Wright, the top reasons to buy in with him being the pick is his experience both at left tackle and right tackle. Even though he's a more right tackle, he still played a lot of games at left tackle against top competition as well. And his hand technique and his length is key. And his functional strength and his patience in pass protection is what separates him from the rest. The top reason for concern with him is his range in the run game and his foot speed and his bend and leverage in his pass protection. But for Darnell Wright, he shows power. He has functional strength and the mass to create displacement in the run game and move people. You always want someone who's going to be able to move people in the run game and even the pass game. And he's a people mover. He's a big guy. And at right tackle, he can solidify the run game, and not only the run game, the pass game, for many years to come for the Steelers, and create that Kenny Pickett fence that people are talking about. So, that's the pick at pick number 17. With pick number 32, the first pick in the second round, I had the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting cornerback Deonte Banks out of Maryland. So, you might be thinking, Deonte Banks, he's projected to go maybe at 17 for the Steelers. Well, I truly believe that a cornerback is going to fall in this year's draft. There's so many good cornerbacks, and it really just depends on what team likes certain guys. Some team might like Cam Smith better. Some team might like Kelly Ringo better. Some teams might like Emmanuel Forbes better. Meaning that one guy is going to fall. And I believe Deonte Banks, he comes from a small school, so some teams might overlook him. And Steelers, they love Maryland players, so they're not going to overlook him, and I think he might actually fall to pick number 32 for the Steelers in this year's draft. Looking at Deonte Banks, he stands at 6 foot tall, he weighs 197 pounds, his arm length is 31 and 3/8 inches, his hand size is 9 inches, and his 4-yard dash time is fast. 4.35 seconds, vertical jump 42 inches, broad jump 11 and 4/4 inches. So he's really an athletic corner, and the top reasons to buy in with him being the pick is he has plus level size and length, good reactionary athleticism, and he's a very physical press cornerback, and he projects to be an outside cornerback at the next level. With Deonte Banks, it all depends if he's going to fall. And if he doesn't fall, I believe the next guy the Steelers will pick would be Kelly Ringo, because I think that's who they actually really like besides Deonte Banks at the cornerback position in this year's NFL draft. But with Banks being the pick, Banks has shown the ability to play both press and off coverage at a high level in college. And in press, Banks shows to be a very physical corner. He wants to two-hand jam you, and that's what the Steelers need right now. The Steelers have more off-ball cornerbacks who are going to play 5 yards back, but the Steelers need a guy who's going to be able to play press and not get beat deep, or not be afraid to get beat deep. Whenever a Steelers cornerback plays press right now, you're afraid that they're going to get beat over the top. But you need a guy who's athletic and plays press and isn't scared to play and press you because they know they won't get beat deep. And he's the guy who could do that at the next level. And because Steelers still play a lot of zone, also, he's a guy who can make quick decisions. And he can stop on a dime to cut back when needed in a zone coverage. He doesn't really have a lot of interceptions, but he attacks the ball high in the high point catch category. So, Deonte Banks, pick number 32. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting him, and that's a really good value pick for the Steelers if he does fall to them at that spot. With that being said, let's move on to our third pick. Still in the second round, pick number 49 in this year's NFL Draft. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting defensive tackle, nose tackle, Mazi Smith out of Michigan. So, with Mazi Smith, the Steelers actually like him a lot. They brought him in multiple times to meet with him, and at his pro day, I'm pretty sure they met formally with him twice in the same week. So they've shown a lot of interest in him. And the Steelers really need a nose tackle. Not just a nose tackle who's going to be able to rush the passer in pass coverage, but a guy who could run stuff. That's what they really need. A guy to help Larry Ogunjobi and the older Cam Hayward. They need someone who could stuff the run game, and that's what he projects at the next level. A run-stuffing nose tackle who plays a 3-4 scheme. So, with Mazi Smith, he weighs 323 pounds. He stands at 6'3". His arm length is 33 3/4 inches. His hand size is 9 3/4 inches. He didn't run a 40-yard dash time, so we don't know that. And he didn't really test at the combine other than his measurements. So, the top reasons to buy in with him, obviously, like I said, outstanding size and strength combo, and he's a top-tier run defender, and he also shows some upside in the pass rush, even though he doesn't have a lot of sacks in his career. With Smith, he's tremendous run stuffer in the middle of Michigan's defense. He plays with outstanding physical strength at the point of attack to disrupt blocking concepts. His strength and physicality is what separates him at the line of scrimmage. He actually is the guy who gets a lot of pressure also in the pass rush. Even though he doesn't have a lot of sacks, he always is in the backfield disrupting the pass, even though he can't finish the play. So that's something that maybe Cameron Hayward could help him out with at the next level, and he could develop that. Because he does get off the line quickly, maybe in the next level, he's able to develop that more. But the Steelers really need a run-stuffing guy, and he's able to create a lot of pressures. And he is a heavy-handed, two-handed puncher, and he could create substantial knockback power in the run game. And that's what the Steelers like, having someone who could drive back blockers and stop the run game. Over the years, the Steelers' run defense has really been struggling, especially early this season last year and the whole season before that. The Steelers really needed someone who could stop the run, and they really have older guys on the defense line. So now going younger and getting someone who can stuff the run and help the defense line is key for the Steelers to help the whole team. And I believe Mazi Smith, if he's there at that pick 49 spot, he will be the pick for the Steelers in the second round. So, with that being said, let's move on to the round 3, pick number 80 for the Steelers. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting safety Jordan Battle. With Jordan Battle, the Steelers really don't have any strong safety. They picked up Keanu Neal in free agency, but outside of him, they have more free safeties on the team than strong safety. And I believe Jordan Battle could play either position, strong safety and free safety. He's good in the run game, but he's also solid in the pass game. And Jordan Battle, he stands at 6'1", he weighs 209 pounds, his arm length is 32 inches, his hand size is 8 1/2 inches, and his 4-yard dash time is 4.55 seconds. And he projects as a strong safety at the next level, and he's really scheme versatile. When you look at Jordan Battle, he's a guy who could play in the box, but he's also a guy who could roam in the secondary. And the Steelers need someone like that. He could really develop a lot in his game. Watching Minkah Fitzpatrick and DeMonte KZ roam the secondary, he could learn a lot from them, but they could also learn a lot from someone who's scheme versatile as well, in Keanu Neal. When you look at Keanu Neal in previous years, he played a lot of box. He could play safety as well. he played a lot of box as a linebacker, but he could also roam the secondary. So learning a lot from those guys, and also from his own athleticism and IQ, he could project as a good safety for the Steelers for many years to come and really transition well to the NFL. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next pick for the Steelers. Round 4, pick 120. The Steelers select outside linebacker, edge rusher, Nick Herbig. So, the reason why I like Nick Herbig is because he has a lot of production at the college level. In 2 seasons, he had 18 sacks, and last year in college, he had the second most sacks at the college level. And the reason why I think he's going to fall all the way to the 4th round is because he's really an undersized outside linebacker edge rusher, and teams might not want to take a risk on him because of his play strength and because of how undersized he is at his position. But speaking with that, he stands at 6'2". He weighs 240 pounds. His arm length is 34 and 1/4 inches. His hand size is 9 inches and 1/4. And his 40-yard dash time is 4.65 seconds. So you might hear that name, Nick Herbig. Well, the Steelers also have his brother on the team, Nate Herbig, offensive line, where they signed in free agency this year. But the top reasons to buy in with Nick Herbig being the pick in round 4 is obviously, like I said, he has a lot of production, sack production, and that's what the Steelers like. People who could really perform at the outside linebacker position in the pass game. And also, he has a pass rush plan every single time. He has a plan on what he's going to do, and he has a motor in the pass game and the run game. He really has a great motor as well. The top reasons for concern, like I said, he lacks versatility and he's undersized at his position, and that might limit him in his role in the NFL level. But with nasty Nick Herbig as a pass rusher, he shows a good variety of moves to use as the top of his rush. He's an effective cross chop, dip rip, bull rush, and long arm with speed to power conversion. He shows the knowledge of leveraging as a pass rusher. So he really has great knowledge. And when you look at the Steelers back in the day when they picked Alex Highsmith, he had 14 sacks in college, and they picked him in his year, and he turned out to be great. Sometimes you just need to take a risk on a guy who has a lot of production, and sometimes it really doesn't matter about his frame as much, because if he has that knowledge and that IQ, he could use that to his potential and versatility on defense. And maybe now that's what Nick Herbig could do, learning from both Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt. So, with that being said, this comes to an end of the 2023 NFL Mock Draft. This is everyone who I think the Steelers will pick in the first 4 rounds. Going later in the draft, I'm not really going to do that because it gets harder to pick, and I really don't have much knowledge on the outside players beyond round 4. So I'm not going to make you guys sit there and listen to me talk about players I have no idea what I'm talking about with. So I'm going to end the mock draft there. But obviously, if the Steelers don't go offensive tackle in round 1 and they go cornerback in round 1, it kind of switches the whole draft plan. So it really all depends on which round 1 pick the Steelers will pick. So with that being said, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about all the selections I picked for the Steelers? Picking Darnell Wright in the first round, and me saying that Deonte Banks are going to fall, me also picking Mazi Smith with their 3rd pick, and Jordan Battle with their 4th, and Nick Herbig with our 5th pick. How do you feel about all the selections I have for the Steelers? Do you like them? Do you not like them? And let me know yours in the comments below. The draft is on Thursday, and I'll be covering everything to do with it. Every pick the Steelers pick, just know I'm be covering it all. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you like Steelers content and analysis reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for the channel as well so you get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video. Click the bell down below so you never miss out. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.